And without further ado, I welcome you to a wonderful evening of music under the wonderful guidance of Maestro Robbins and the 6th grade band.
much. Our next two songs, if you were at the parade this past Sunday, you heard them a bunch. We played them a bunch. I know you'll enjoy them. Two holiday favorites, Jingle Bells and Up on the Housetop. But before we play those, I'd like to acknowledge some 8th graders who are helping out our 6th graders. And we're kind of put in a situation like I face when I play professionally. I show up for a gig, and they say, "Here, play this." I did that to them last Monday when we had our dress rehearsal and then got snowed out. I said, "Hey guys, you want to play with 6th grade?" They're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Here, go." And they did. And they did a fantastic job, so thank you to our 8th graders who helped out. And here's Jingle Bells and Up on the Housetop. program. That tune was called Sea Jam Blues, made famous by the orchestra of the great jazz pianist Duke Ellington. Coincidentally, today is the birthday of an alumnus of the Duke Ellington Orchestra. Not only was he an alumnus of the Duke Ellington Orchestra, he also played with the great Count Basie Big Band, was the first African-American musician on staff at NBC, played with the NBC Orchestra and the Tonight Show Band. And we lost him after a long life of 94 years, just about 2 years ago. Today's Clark Terry's birthday, who was one of the greatest jazz trumpet players ever to live and a very deep influence on me personally. I had a chance to work with him a lot as an undergraduate and after I left college, so it's a very cool treat to get to play a tune that Clark played on his birthday. Our next tune is called Lowrider, and we're going to have some more solos. We've got a saxophone solo first from Nikolai. Erica's going to play another flute solo, and we have a trumpet solo from Matt in the back. All of these solos that you hear tonight are improvised. These kids are creating it spontaneously before you. And that's one of the scariest things to do. And to do it at middle school takes a lot of intestinal fortitude, and they're doing a very good job of it. So give all of our soloists a round of applause. Here's Lowrider, and it's not the one you think it is. Our last tune was made famous by the tenor saxophonist Sonny Rollins. It's called Sunny Moon for Two. Going to hear some other soloists in this tune. First, we're going to have, I have to use my cheat sheet, if I can make out my own chicken scratch. Let's see. First, we'll have a bass solo, keyboard bass solo from Colin. Colby's going to play a trumpet solo. Erica is back one more time. And Nikolai's back for another saxophone solo. And the last time, so let's remember what we talked about Tuesday. Our last time through, our last soloist is going to be a drum solo from Nick Barbuto, who's not only going to improvise a solo, but when you hear him playing at the beginning, you'll notice that what he's playing lines up very well with what the rest of the guys and gals in the band are playing. Nick's been studying since 3rd grade? Yeah, Nick's been studying privately for a while, and he's become quite the impressive drummer, and took it upon himself to go home and learn the drum part that was originally recorded when Sonny Rollins recorded Sonny Moon for Two back in like 1961, which is a really cool thing for an 8th grader to do. So listen for that. Sonny Moon for Two. That was a first. I've never lost my baton mid-performance. I've lost it during rehearsals, but never on the gig. That was Epic Venture, as you saw in your program. Tyler Grant, the composer, was born in 1995. He's 21 now. He composed that piece when he was 16. And it's quickly becoming a staple in middle school band music. So it's a really fun one to play, and had the pleasure of hearing it for the first time last year. Before we play our next piece, it wouldn't be a concert at the middle school if I didn't forget names from the program. So, missing from your program, in the flute section, is Jocelyn Taylor, and playing violin is Devin Geralds. And they're going to get their own special programs with their names on them. Because, well, I play trombone and I don't think too well. So our next piece, as you see in your program, is called Hymn for Those Who Serve. You've been here before. I know it doesn't look quite like Symphony Hall or a performance space like you would expect, since I like to refer to this sometimes as the James Nasium Memorial Athletic Complex and Performing Arts Center. But for one night in the winter and one night in the spring, it is transformed into our concert hall. And if you take a trip about 45 minutes to an hour south of here and go to Symphony Hall in Boston right around this time of year, you'll hear the Holiday Pops program, and it's always splendid. And they always close their program with the piece we're going to play next. It's called Sleigh Ride. It was written by Leroy Anderson, who, interesting fact about Leroy Anderson, he was a code breaker during World War II. Really kind of neat. You know it, you love it. It has the iconic horse whinny played by the trumpets, and it also has this iconic whip crack thing in there. And I said to the kids, I would like to have somebody play the whip crack that's special to us. And I asked who they wanted, and they gave me all kinds of ideas, and then it seemed to be narrowing towards this one particular person. So I approached them and I said, hey, do you want to do this? And they're like, yeah. Keeping in mind that I know this person has performance experience. And they were just kind of like, yeah, I guess I could do that. And they absolutely killed it at our dress rehearsal last week. So playing the part of the whip tonight will be our 7th grade writing teacher, Mr. Travis Nason. And while Zach hands him his weapon, before we play this, thank you very much for your support of music and the arts here in Hampstead. It really is a treat to work with your children every day and to get to make music with them and share music with them. The 8th graders think I'm crazy. I think they're crazy. And it's a lot of fun, and it really is a treat to be here. And I thank you very much for encouraging your child to be involved with music. Enjoy Sleigh Ride, have a happy holiday season, and here we go. Travis Mason. Thank you, Mr. Mason. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful holiday.